Y'all, it's your girl JoJo coming to you with a review for Being Mary Jane, Season 4, Episode 17. I am giving you the real and the real unpolished raw. I am sitting on my bed, my hair ain't done, I ain't got no makeup on because I really need to know, do we still like being Mary Jane or not? I ain't took no notes. I ain't did none of that because I am really confused about how I feel about this show. So we're gonna just talk real fast, like 10 minutes, if that. First of all, let's start out with the fact that last episode that I didn't get to review because I had a fashion show at my job and y'all, it took up my whole week. And then right after that, we rolled right into Hurricane Harvey. So it's been like a whirlwind. But we found out that her mom did mess around with Frank. I think I was calling him Freddie, but she did mess around with him. So the dad did end up kicking her out, which I was very surprised about because usually old people, when y'all been together that long, y'all just try to go ahead and work it out. So she ended up getting kicked out because of what she did with this man. And later, she ends up telling poor Paul, who is already an addict and trying to get himself together. Is it Paul? The son with the drug problem. While they're at dinner, she explains to him that she had a love for Frank, but her dad was a good man and she was in a bind. And the father steps up. And Paul is heartbroken because now he realizes that that's not really his father. So he goes up to the father and he kind of runs up on him. You know, he pulls him up by the shirt. And I was just like, hold on a minute, Paul. Now you can't be pulling up on your daddy like that. And daddy's just like, look, no matter what, I'm still your daddy. And it almost looked like he was saying, you know what, I'll fight you. Okay, don't be pulling up on me like that. So Paul relaxed and he had to go back to one of his meetings because he felt like using again. Now, how are we feeling about this? Okay, I'm mad at Suge. I'm pissed off at Suge. I feel like the way she's been doing everything has been messy. I understand that you have this flame for this man, but obviously you have crossed the line. It's very apparent that you guys have feelings for each other. On the last episode, y'all giggling and laughing and carrying on. Then you slept with him. Now you break this news to your son and you want everybody to be all understanding. It's almost like she doesn't want people to be mad at her. So we see what's going on. When we look at Mary Jane, we know that this could be a generational curse. Okay, she might get it from her mama. Then when we move over to Kira, all right, Kira's trying to get this whole thing going, you know, with young Tenderoni, trying to get him the sportscaster job, trying to get him to retire while he's still on top. And while all this is going on, his mom shows up for a visit. Mama is a hot tamale. Mama is looking good. Mama got the body. Mama is pretty much another version of Kira. They even walk the same. I thought that was funny when the stylist pointed that out. So Kira doesn't really think they're the same, but she plans this little reunion for Tenderoni in the park where all the kids want him to sign their stuff and they're excited to see him. They look at him as a hero. And that's when she lets Kira know, you know what? He used to get distracted by girls back in the day, and that's why I've come back around because I want to make sure that he realizes that he will not be retiring. This is what I knew he was always meant to do, and that's what he's going to continue to do, not this little sportscasting thing. Kira feels like there's going to be trouble, but thank goodness when they get there, the mom has like all these stars in her eyes and she gets to meet Mary Jane, so she's excited about that. She was just like, oh my gosh, a real celebrity. Like, she is super excited. So she gets to see her son in action doing something different, and he's just as competitive, he's just as good, he's well spoken. When Garrick allows Danny to sit down and do the interview, Kira's pissed because Danny's been on the bench from her last little stunt. And if you give in to Danny and her demands, you're going to end up causing a bigger problem because her little fan club is always going to be thinking that they have the upper hand. But Garrett goes ahead and does it anyway, and Orlando's for it because he feels like he can hold his own with Danny. Kara feels like you ain't ready for her, Danny, honey. You're not ready for Danny. She will eat you alive. But he ends up doing a really good job against Danny, telling the story of his mom's immigration, telling the story of how Ronald Reagan was a conservative, but he even felt like policies needed to be changed. And, you know, Danny tried to flip it, she tried to spin it, but he didn't let her get away with it. And he did a really good job in handling Danny. So I was just like, kudos to you, Orlando. Did a great job. I cannot stand Danny. I want her gone. So, anyway, then we move on to Mary Jane. Now, Mary Jane got so much going on, I don't even know if I can break it all down. First of all, we know that Justin was tired of all this speculation and publicizing of their relationship. That's not what he does. That's not what he's about. They don't put out the situation with his dead girlfriend. All of this is messy. This is not what I do. I'm going to go cover another story. I'm out. So he leaves. So during this time, we also find out that Lee is about to get a pilot for a show that's loosely based off of him and Mary Jane's relationship. So once Mary Jane finds this out, you guys know this sends her into a tailspin. She's out of control. She's trying to get ahead of the story. The Leah publicist girl tells her, you know what, you can put out a statement or you can do the interview with Ryan Seacrest. Mary Jane was like, See, I want my viewers to know who I am. This is to keep it real, Mary Jane. I don't know why she thinks that we believe she's that Mary Jane. She's very, we know that's not her. But she wants to go into the Breakfast Club, which is a horrible idea because Charlemagne would eat Mary Jane alive. He would eat Gabrielle Union alive. Both of y'all. He would tear you guys apart. So Leah is just like, if you think you're ready, I'll schedule it. So when they do the little mock interview to see if Mary Jane is ready, Mary Jane's clearly not ready. She's going off on a tangent about black women and, as soon as we do something, people call us hoes. People don't try to understand us. They flip it, be independent but not emasculate and be this but be that. All of the things she says, I understand because I am a black woman, but it's coming so far out of left field and it's all over the place and she's angry and, she's rolling her neck and she's hitting the table and that's not going to fare well at the Breakfast Club, okay? It's a lighthearted show. So until you can get in control of all them emotions and quit being defensive, it's not going to work. And Leah tells her, it sounds like you're trying not to take ownership. You're getting defensive, Mary Jane, baby, you're not ready. I'm going to cancel it. And she said, no, listen. We are not friends because Leah tells her, I'm coming at you as a friend. And Leah was like, Mary Jane said, don't get it twisted. You're my publicist. If you can't get it done, then I need to get somebody else for the job. And Leah was just looking at her like, bitch, excuse me? I have always gotten the job done, but what I'm not is a yes man. And if you want a yes man, then you do need to go find you somebody else. But honey, that ain't never been me. And I was just like, get her together, Leah, because you're not going to sit here and talk to me like that just because you got all them personal problems. I've been doing my job, sweetheart. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be in the position that you're in right now, okay? Trust and believe. You would have crashed and burned with that other marketing team. So Kira gets Mary Jane to realize that she's tripping and that she needs to get it together or forget it forever. And so Mary Jane does realize, you know what, yeah, I am emotional. I am tripping. I do need to pull it back, but I'm realizing now that I tank all of my relationships. I'm feeling all these different ways about my relationships. And did I feel like I wasn't worthy of Lee? Do I feel like I'm not worthy of anybody? Like, what is all of this saying about me? And it was good to see Mary Jane kind of, even though this show frustrates me, there's always those moments where it makes you look at yourself and like the situation amongst many black women and say to yourself, like, dang, am I self-sabotaging? Am I doing this in my relationship? Do I not feel worthy? Do I not feel deserving of love? And that is a conversation that we do have to have with ourselves, myself included. And I think back to times where I've been in relationships and I've been looking for problems and looking for situations. And see, this is why I still continue to watch the show, even though I get aggravated. But Mary Jane begins to ask herself those questions, and Kara was just like, I don't know, Mama. These are things that you have to ask yourself. But just know that we're going to get it back right. We're going to start talking about the things that matter. We're going to be prime time. And Mary Jane is just like, girl, that's going to take years. We ain't never going to be able to do that. But leave it to Kara to get it done. So she goes to talk to Garrick and just said, I just want you to know that Danny and her little fan club are all up on Twitter saying that Orlando got pummeled on TV. And Garrick is just like, no, he did not. Like, the reason I did this was so they could finally see that Danny's not in control, but Danny's still in control. So she tells her, look, I can keep Danny at bay, and I can keep Danny right if you can promise me and Mary Jane a primetime spot next fall. And Garrick is just like, whoa. Now, I don't know about all that, but, Garrick promises that he's going to try to get it done, but you got to take care of Danny. So she agrees. Now, at the very end of the show, Mary Jane ended up getting some flowers. I guess they're from Justin. I don't really know, but that's really it. So, like I said, the show, it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy, but I'm gonna continue to watch. So that's it, y'all. I ain't got too much to say. It was real drawn out, but you know, it wasn't too much of nothing. We gonna see. But that's it, you guys. I gotta get ready to go and get ready to do some productive stuff today. So like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully I'll never look like this on camera again. Bye.